Steckel, and welcome to Economic Development 24/7, Peoria's newest show keeping you informed about your city. So you say you want to buy local, but what does that mean, and why is it so important? Here to talk about buying local is Debbie Pearson, Peoria's small business specialist, and joining her is Kimber Lanning of Local First Arizona. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you, Elizabeth. As I head up the small business program for the city of Peoria, I do realize the importance of shopping locally, but do I truly understand the significance of it all? I'm not so sure. That is why I've invited Kimber Lanning, founder of Local First Arizona, to give us information about the upcoming seminar that she will be presenting right here in Peoria. Kimber, please share with us why shopping local is so important and why you encourage business owners and consumers to attend this seminar on February 21st at 11:30.
You know, I'd be happy to do that, and I hope everybody will come out. We're going to be talking about why it's important to choose local businesses whenever you can. It's not always, we're not local always Arizona first, we're just Arizona local first. We try to encourage people to choose local whenever they can. Many people don't realize that when they choose a local business, up to 3 times more of the money they spend stays and recirculates right here in the local economy. So when you choose a local restaurant or a local auto mechanic or a place to get your hair cut or a local grocer, that local business owner in turn chooses a local graphic designer, web developer, architect, accountant, attorney. All of those secondary jobs are right here in the local community. And those dollars, when they change hands, they create additional tax revenue, and that additional tax revenue goes to things like parks and libraries and fire departments. So it's very important for you to think, even the smallest little purchase, your morning latte, choosing a local guy keeps more money here in the economy. So I hope everybody will join us on February 21st at 11:30 right here in Peoria, and we're going to learn about how everyone can play a role in strengthening Peoria's economy.
Thank you so much, Kimber, for clarifying the importance of buying local and giving us more information about the upcoming seminar.
It's time for Debbie's Quick Picks. Debbie's taking us on an underwater excursion to Scuba Professionals of Arizona, just one of the latest small businesses to open up in Peoria.
Howdy, Debbie Pearson here, Business Development Specialist with City of Peoria's Economic Development Services Department. Welcome to the latest edition of Debbie's Quick Picks, the little show that highlights Peoria small businesses in a big way. Today we're located at Scuba Professionals of Arizona at 9299 West Olive Avenue. I'd like to introduce you now to Paul Wagenseller, the owner, and find out what this scuba's about.
Well, I started as a 9-year-old boy diving, and then later in my years, I spent the last 40 years teaching scuba professionally in Arizona. We offer classes all the way from beginner all the way to instructor. We also offer all the equipment necessary to scuba dive. We have trips related to scuba diving, and we also have lots of social and fun activities. We also do swimming classes, and we have long-range trips like to the Caribbean. We have trips once a month to California, just tons and tons of activities for the family. So a family can come in here, and it's well priced, it's well designed for the family's budget and their schedules.
So why did you choose Peoria?
Peoria was perfect. It was right in the middle of Surprise and Phoenix and Glendale, and it created a perfect atmosphere for business for us. And the facility was in the proper location, and we were able to build this facility. It took a tremendous amount of effort to build it because this pool is very unique and very different. Besides being deep and flat on the bottom, it has a live video feed from the bottom, so when people are taking classes, their family can watch it live at home. And it has its own current generator, so we can simulate the ocean. So when people are taking classes, and before they go on any dive trips with us, they can come in here and practice in the pool to make sure their skills are firm.
Thank you all for joining me on this adventure visiting Scuba Professionals of Arizona, located at 9299 West Olive Avenue. Until next time, keep it local.
There's a new line of local high-tech businesses in Peoria at the city's new medical device incubator, BioInspire. Here with me in the studio are the people behind the scenes at BioInspire. Scott White, Peoria's Economic Development Services Director, Marianne Guerra, CEO of BioXcel, Sharon Harper, President of the Plaza Companies, and Tom Rainey, the new Executive Director of BioInspire. Tom, I'd like to start with you. What is BioInspire?
Well, as you mentioned, it's a business incubator to help startup companies get developed here in Peoria. And what's really unique about this business incubator, unlike hundreds of other incubators around the country, is a real focus on medical device businesses. So what we try to do is create synergies around companies that are commercializing medical device technologies. and surround them with the right mix of resources.
Thank you. And Scott, you're the city's Economic Development Services Director. Where did this ambitious idea come from?
Actually, the idea for a medical device incubator started out of our process of developing an economic development strategy for the city going forward. One of the objectives of our strategy was to grow high-tech, bioscience-related jobs and industries so that we could create clusters of those businesses, create high-paying jobs with high educational level attainment prospects so that we could diversify our economy. One of the lessons learned out of the recent economic downturn is that Peoria does not currently have a diversified economy, and the extreme importance of having one going forward. So we really sought to grow our economy and diversify our economy in a way that leans towards high technology in the biosciences. So as we looked at what is our role in that bioscience field, we quickly focused in on medical device. And so that's really where this whole idea started. And then we looked for our partnerships with BioXcel and with the Plaza companies.
As CEO of BioXcel, Marianne, what is your company's role in BioInspire?
Well, we were lucky enough to partner with the City of Peoria very early on when they started talking about trying to establish an incubator. And BioXcel is formed and was formed to identify late-stage research, take that, turn it into qualified pipeline, and also create and seed new companies in the bioscience area. So it was a marriage made in heaven between the City of Peoria and BioXcel. So our role is to just take our companies, put them in the incubator, help do the diligence, and look for a qualified pipeline so that we go hand in hand with identifying companies, doing the diligence, and then having a beautiful facility now to locate our companies.
Great, which takes me to Sharon. You're president of the Plaza Companies. What role does the Plaza play in BioInspire?
Plaza Companies is celebrating its 30th year here in Peoria. Our corporate headquarters are here, and we've developed the Plaza Del Rio campus, which is a highly regarded and well-known medical and senior housing campus. There are several hundred physicians who have offices on the campus, and so as the City of Peoria and the economic development leadership began to evaluate what kinds of industries would be great in Peoria, they looked at assets that were already in place, and the Plaza Del Rio campus and that group of healthcare professionals and seniors and the reputation that that carried became a perfect location to talk about a place where medical device could really thrive and benefit from the reputation already in place. So as it turned out, one of the buildings on the Plaza campus is now where BioInspire is located.
Thank you. And Scott, I can't help but wonder, why medical devices?
Well, when we evaluated the full spectrum of the bioscience field, which is quite broad, that would be appropriate for the City of Peoria to invest in, we didn't want to replicate efforts that were occurring elsewhere in the valley and the state. We wanted to be able to capture a market that was unique and that didn't offer competition, and nor did we want to duplicate what was already being done. And we also wanted to focus in on the types of companies that would have a quicker pathway through the FDA regulatory pathway. So when we analyzed all of those inputs, we felt that medical device made a lot of sense. It's a growth industry for the future. It has a shorter regulatory pathway, which means quicker commercialization and quicker business development. So that's why we really focused in on medical device.
Smart. Very interesting. And what's the city hoping to achieve with the incubator?
At the end of the day, the incubator objective is to graduate qualified, thriving businesses, medical device businesses that then can, out of the incubator, absorb existing space, grow in the city, and by placing multiple companies in the city to start to grow a medical device cluster of industry that can then grow, that gives us the opportunity to attract supply chain manufacturers, other medical device, other bioscience companies, but you have to start with a footprint. You have to have a critical mass of business in an industry type that you then can start to grow and then be viewed nationally, internationally, hopefully, as a place to do business for that type of industry. That's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. And of course, the high-paying jobs that come with it for our Peoria residents.
Great. And Tom, who are the first tenants at BioInspire?
Well, we're really blessed with 6 companies that have come after a national search and putting out the word really internationally. We had companies as far away as Canada and Ireland applying to get into the program and to receive both space and funding. So we were very fortunate to have so many qualified applicants. But after a very rigorous down select process, very careful due diligence on these companies, we were able to select 6 companies to go into the incubator. And so it's kind of a mixed bag of companies. We have one company that's a rather low-tech company, and they're actually developing a garment for patients who've gone through knee surgeries. And it's a garment that is a specialty product that helps with modesty issues, with the gowns that are traditionally worn in hospitals after the surgery procedure. They've actually created a pant that you can put on that allows doctors to access parts of the leg that allow them more modesty. So that's kind of on the lower tech end of the spectrum. But we have another company, for example, that's doing an implant that actually goes into the spinal column and manages pain. So that's a very high-tech product. It's going to take a longer lead time to get through the FDA approval process, but very, very promising when it does pay off. So those are 2 examples. We have another company called Nasio that is developing a proprietary dental implant, a very high-tech implant for patients who traditionally have a high failure rate with dental implants. So smokers and diabetics, for example. Very exciting new company. And I might add, they're actually moving in from San Diego. So just to give you an idea of how we're able to recruit people from other parts of the country who wanted to come here and be part of this. We have another company called Yolia Health, and they're developing a new proprietary vision correction technology. And it's essentially a hard contact lens that you put in with proprietary drops, and they alleviate the need for reading glasses. So if you do this procedure for 7 days, take them out, and then you don't need reading glasses for 6 months, and then you reapply. And so it's an exciting new technology. It actually came from Mexico. So we're commercializing a Mexican technology, and just very, very exciting. So we're just really thrilled to have so many really high quality companies in the mix.
Yeah, that is exciting. And Marianne, what's the advantage for them to be in BioInspire?
Well, the value of creating an incubator facility. So when BioExcel would identify companies and like we conducted the national search and you narrow it down, then where do you put the companies? Okay, so it was nice that we have a facility now that combined with the selection of focusing on devices, we can do a more qualified search for the right companies. We can put them in the incubator and then surround them by the right type of technical advisors. For example, once we focused on medical devices and we did the recruitment, we then have set up a national advisory council. And that advisory council, when we recruited, we were able to get representatives from Medtronic and Covidien, which are international organizations that are focused on medical devices. We were able to bring in a venture capitalist out of Boston to participate in it. We've got local advisors that we brought to it. So having this incubator facility, having the resources that Peoria is providing in terms of the facility, but providing BioExcel with funds to develop this pipeline and to seed these companies, allows us to have, and having the focus on medical devices, really provides this incredible synergy and excitement. And so when we started the recruitment, and the companies, 2 of the companies came out of San Diego, actually, Nasio and Yolia. And so why would they come here? Well, they came because of the advisory council they could get access to, the network, the resources. It was pretty exciting. And so by having the facility, it's just a beautiful recruitment tool, and it's also great for the city because you can get them in one place, and as Scott said, we can grow them, but then we can move them into the community. And you know, they get to know the community, they get the support of the community, and then we hopefully recruit the next round and put them in the facility and start to build and build and compound and compound. So the facility, I think, is really an anchor facility, and having it at the Plaza Del Rio is really great, because we can now start to surround them by other companies, or they can move out and be located there as well. And so you just start, you've got that anchor that allows you to build and grow a device community into an industry sector. So we're really excited about the facility. We're really excited about the location of the facility around. In fact, was it Yolia? One of the reasons they came is the optometrist is located here in Peoria, very close by the new incubator. And so he was all excited to be able to move the company and have his offices here rather than flying to San Diego. So it really is pretty exciting, and it's like a magnet. It's a magnet that starts to attract things because it's like a focused magnet, a targeted magnet. So we're really excited about it, and I think, you know, in a very short amount of time, in August, June we started the recruitment of the companies, and they're moving in. We're moving in December.
Great. And this question's for everyone. Simply, what happens next? Would you like to start?
Well, the leadership that really led this program is paying off quite quickly. To think that there are 6 companies already located in Peoria is just outstanding. Secondly, it's created a synergy and an excitement about this industry and the jobs that can get created. Thirdly, for those people that live in the community or want to live in the community, this is creating a source for high-paying jobs, interesting jobs, and it helps to build the viability of the commercial office investments in the city, the housing investments in the city. It supports the schools, and it really is important for the community all the way around. So I think it's paying off early, and it has the opportunity to be very dramatic for our greater region.
Great. And Tom?
Well, as a community resource, one of our big goals is connecting the dots with other organizations that we can collaborate with. And as Scott mentioned, our goal is not to duplicate other resources that are out there, but really co-op with them and find ways to collaborate. So working closely with the universities, research institutions in the area that could be feeders into the initiative, and developing programs and workshops and seminars and things to help educate new entrepreneurs to get them started. So really creating that synergy that we've been talking about, and that sort of mosaic of activities, recruiting more investors into the program, and eventually growing the program to another phase development.
Great, thank you. Mary Ann?
Well, again, because of the device focus, we can start to build on that. And what we've been able to do is the way we've designed the contractual relationships with the companies, there's a requirement that they stay in the city. So we know that they're not going to be going anywhere. They're going to move out of the incubator, and they're going to stay in the city. And we also have limited the time that they can stay in the incubator, so we know they're going to be moving out and more are going to come in. So we absolutely know that they're going to grow and hopefully set the foundation for other ideas that Scott has to grow the economic development in the area. The other thing that it's led to is BioXcel hopefully is going to be launching this month. I know we're going to be launching, it's called a BioAccelerator Fund. And it is going to be an independent fund that will fund companies that are located either at BioInspire or one of our portfolio companies. And so it will help those companies become sustainable. Now again, this is a compounding that's going to allow a new funding opportunity. It's going to help the companies there to advance and be stabilized and funded and want to stay in the community because, again, they have the incubator, they have the technical resources, and now they'll have this external fund that will be available to help them as well, as long as they can compete for those funds. So I think that you're going to see that a lot of exciting ideas will start to build around it. We've talked to Thunderbird about possible internships. We've talked to ASU and U of A, I mean, in the new universities that are coming in here and being located. So I think this is just the start. As Sharon said, this is, you know, kind of like we've planted the seed, and I think it's already started to blossom, but I think in the next 2 or 3 years, you're really going to see a lot of energy and excitement coming out of this in many different ways, not just medical device companies, other companies, housing, jobs, other things. So we're excited about it.
Thank you. Scott, what's next?
Well, the simplest expression of what we're trying to accomplish here is the ability through the incubator for early stage technology, new technology, ideas coming out of university, to put them into a structured program, a first-class facility with access to high-class council of advisors, and to grow that technology through commercialization, to start businesses, to grow businesses, and to create jobs in an industry sector that is the growth potential for the future. That was the first expression of the City of Peoria's desire to grow its innovation economy. And as you've heard today, we have reached nationally and internationally in just 8 months in terms of the types of business interests that we've been able to gather. We want to continue that momentum. We've continued that momentum in the form of some of the universities that we have attracted to the city that have strength in science, technology, engineering, and math that are a great fit into what the incubator has to offer. But we also want to take it to the next level because you got to keep momentum going. So we are having early stage conversations with our partners, Plaza, BioInspire, Executive Director Tom, and then also BioCell, as to how we might be able to formulate a program for a Peoria Innovation Center and work with all of our partnerships, including the universities, to make Peoria a center for innovation and how to translate innovation into commercialization. That's what we hope to be able to accomplish in the next 12 to 24 months.
I'd like to thank all of my guests for telling us more about BioInspire and its importance in our city. All the talk of inspiration and high-tech innovation is really just the tip of the iceberg in Peoria. The city's economic development mandate is focused on high-wage jobs in what are called high-knowledge industries, typically industries that require advanced educations and technical skills. Peoria is well on its way and has had a fair amount of success over the last 2 years. As a result, the city is hosting its first Innovation Forum on February 20th at the Arizona Broadway Theater. At this event, business leaders will talk about their perspectives on innovation in general and with respect to advanced manufacturing and healthcare. Speakers will include Dr. Earl Brooks, president of Trine University, Jack Shaw, former CEO of Hughes Network Systems, and Rick James, CEO of Metal Technologies. For more information, please visit peoriaed.com and click on the link that says Forum. Up next in Peoria Places and Spaces, Paul Zampini shows us some hot commercial real estate available right now.
Hi, and welcome to Peoria's Places and Spaces. My name is Paul Zampini, and I'm the project manager for the City of Peoria's Economic Development Department. Today, we're at the Arrowhead 101 Business Park, and I'm here to show you a little bit about the 230,000 square foot facility. Come and let me show you a little bit of the features. Building A has a depth of 128 feet, and Building B has a depth of 148 feet. Shown here is the 53,000 square feet of contiguous space. The warehouse clear height is 24 feet in Building A and 30 feet in Building B, and all suites are equipped with ESFR fire protection. Suites are available with 10 by 10 dock doors and 12 by 14 grade level doors. The complex also has a 180-foot truck court. There are currently 3 spec suites available. However, specific tenant improvement packages are available to tailor each space to users' requirements. Thank you for joining me today at the Arrowhead 101 Business Park. Again, I'm Paul Zampini with Peoria Places and Spaces. For any further information about this space and others, please don't hesitate to give me a call.
Another big project the city's been working on is the Peoria Sports Park project, the mixed-use real estate development project outside the sports complex. In the studio with me is Scott White, Peoria's Economic Development Services Director. Hi, Scott.
Hi there.
The city's been developing this project for almost 2 years. Tell us about the project.
Well, aside from attracting universities and a medical device incubator, one of the objectives of the city in terms of economic development is to revitalize the areas of the city that have great potential for redevelopment. One of those areas is our existing entertainment district. The entertainment district of Bell Road and 83rd Avenue is the current location of our baseball teams with the Mariners and the Padres, our Harkins Theater, a host of wonderful restaurants, the Arizona Broadway Theater. And part of that sports complex property is 17 acres of surface parking lot that is an opportunity for more infill mixed-use redevelopment for our entertainment district. And that's the project that we refer to as Peoria Sports Park project. That, coupled with some planned public improvements such as hardscapes and streetscapes and wayfinding signage and entry monumentation signage, are two separate projects that work together to bring this area to the next level of profitability and entertainment for our citizens.
What are the next steps for the project?
Well, the project's been worked on for a number of months. We just recently approved a ground lease with the developer for this project. We're currently in the process of evaluating a host of economic materials such as pro formas, such as letters of interest from potential tenants in terms of operating pro formas, and a host of other data that we need to analyze to ensure that this project is marketable, that there's a market for not only the project but the tenants that we seek to attract, and that at the end of the day this project is viable and can be built. Once we evaluate those economic materials, then we'll be working on a development agreement.
And what does the Peoria Sports Park project have to do with the district improvements that were identified as Peoria 83 or P83?
The P83 was an important part of this process. Separate from the private redevelopment project, that's the Peoria Sports Park project, the P83 improvements sought to do a number of things. One was to create a brand for our entertainment district. Our entertainment district, currently referred to as Arrowhead, is actually a City of Glendale reference. So what we want to do is identify our entertainment district as specifically Peoria, and that's the P83 brand. Also part of that is a series of streetscape improvements so that we can infuse light, texture, landscaping, hardscaping, signage as a way of differentiating this part of the city from any other, as being special, distinct, the place to go for entertainment and fun.
Great. And where are we on the P83 improvements?
Actually, the P83 improvement project is in a process right now called Design Concept Report. That's a fancy word for saying it's being engineered right now through an engineering consultant to determine the best layout, the best right-of-way, the best street furniture and landscaping, and a whole host of signage opportunities to evaluate what is the best path forward as we look to implement this project. So it's currently in the process, and we will be evaluating the best alternative going forward shortly.
That sounds great, Scott. Thanks for keeping us in the entertainment district loop, and thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
And just to give a couple of updates to you, if you've seen the lights go up at 83rd and Olive, then you know the city's second community park, Pioneer Park, is well underway. Completion date is anticipated in September of this year. Also, if you've seen construction east of the northbound on-ramp to Loop 101 at Cactus, then you've seen the new location of Grand Avenue Produce. Grand Avenue Produce will be occupying 50,000 square feet and bringing 75 jobs. Finally, if you've driven along Lake Pleasant Parkway, you may have noticed that work on the Peoria Regional Medical Center has stopped. Unfortunately, the hospital lost its funding and is currently looking for new financing to complete the project. This project, of course, is privately funded on private land, so the city has little recourse. We're working on maintaining an open dialogue with the Gilbert Hospital people. However, once their funding is secured, there will be no delay in resuming construction. That's it for this episode. As always, customer service is the #1 goal of economic development. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call or click.